In today's video, I want to discuss what's probably going to be a very popular topic with DJs, especially among wedding DJs. Exactly 1 month and 4 days ago, I signed up to be on the WeddingWire and The Knot, also known as Wedding Pro, I think, or WeddingWire and The Knot, whatever. They're the same company now. Who cares? Anyway, I signed up to be on the marketing plan for both of those. I'm on the pro level, and in a second I'll get to what it's costing me monthly. But my main purpose of this video is to talk about what my first month has been like on these two services and how I feel about it. I'm going to plan to do about every month coming back on camera and letting you guys know how I feel about it and all this stuff. We'll see if things change over time. But I felt like this would really help you guys out because this is something I wish I had seen before signing up. Obviously, this is completely subjective, but the value that I hope that you see in this is the fact that it's totally uncensored. You know, this is not sponsored by anybody or anything like that. This is just what I think of it. So here we go. First of all, the amount of leads I have gotten, which I want to touch on. In the past 34 days, I have gotten 8 leads on WeddingWire, then I got 11 on The Knot. And the interesting thing is my WeddingWire has more reviews than my Knot does. So I thought that was pretty interesting that there's more people coming and asking me for pricing or information or whatever from The Knot than WeddingWire. This is pretty good, kind of what I was expecting, and I try and respond to the leads very, very quickly. My response time is under an hour. In many cases, it's a couple of minutes because I have the notifications on my phone for the apps and everything, so I respond pretty quickly. So I would expect to be booking many weddings out of this. I'm finding that only 1 out of the 19 leads total seems to actually have true intent to book with me. We'll see if I end up getting this. I will let you guys know in the next month's video, but for now, it's still very in the pre-booking process. No contracts, no deposits, or anything like that. They're still deciding. And the thing that I've found is that many of the leads that I get are kind of odd. They don't really give you much information on the wedding, and one of the interesting things is that WeddingWire and The Knot only require email 100% of the time. And interestingly, WeddingWire allows them to put their phone in. The Knot does not allow them to put their phone into the basic quote thing. For me, it's annoying because I want to be able to follow up with these people in any way possible to try and book them since I'm paying so much money per month for this service. So that is one little pet peeve that I have. Most of the people on WeddingWire put a phone number, but some don't. I feel like it's kind of spammy. Like, I'm not even sure if these are real leads, honestly, at this point, because only a few of them have like profile photos and things like that. And the information that comes in, like, I'll show you screenshots right now. Some of them are like, we're getting married on this date. And that's their message. And then it has their wedding details that WeddingWire collected. Some of them say, like, we're getting married on yada, yada, yada at whatever venue, and we'd like more information about your services. Now, that I can kind of work with, and I found that a lot of times I reply to their first message. Probably at least 50% of people don't respond. I'm not sure why. They read it. I'm doing everything that WeddingWire tells you to with these leads. And I've even modified my messages a little bit because I noticed that what WeddingWire tells you to do for responses is not quite how you really should. So I modified it a little bit, and I began to get some more responses, but still not a lot of responses. And the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because what's important for me with the amount of money I'm paying for this marketing is buyer intent of the leads. If the person is just going out looking for quotes because they have a free way to do so, that doesn't really seem like very good buyer intent. And that's what seems to be going on WeddingWire and The Knot for, people with a pro listing. I do think that with WeddingWire, the reason that I'm not getting as many leads as on The Knot is that WeddingWire, because they have a free listing tier, is so much more saturated, because The Knot you can only pay to be on. There's no free tier listing. So there's many more DJs on WeddingWire than The Knot. Second topic I want to talk about in this video is the platform. The unfortunate thing is that even though WeddingWire and The Knot are now one company, or technically still two, let's not get into the business structure, but anyway, they're the same company, kind of, and it kind of surprises me that your WeddingWire reviews don't show on The Knot and vice versa, because it would make things a whole lot easier, and I would probably get a lot more leads because I have way more reviews on WeddingWire than I do on The Knot. And if I had more reviews on my Knot listing, then I would probably be getting more leads. And this is where the whole marketing thing comes in. Like, if I'm paying for this service and it's the same company, I feel like the reviews should be copied over. And you might be saying, well, why don't you just ask the people to rewrite their review over here? And I have. Part of the problem is I can't get in touch with the bride or groom anymore. Never heard anything from them after the wedding. They never opened any emails from the email list, so they kind of went AFK. So it is a little bit aggravating to have to duplicate photos and duplicate your bio on, or your description or whatever, onto The Knot when you've had a WeddingWire listing, and have to ask clients to rewrite a review, which can be tough. It also depends on how involved the client was. Sometimes I've gotten reviews after sending 4 emails, so maybe it's persistence, but really it'd be nice if they just copied it in the first place so I didn't have to harass my clients to rewrite a review that should be copied over anyway, because I'm paying for the damn service. And the last and probably the most important point in this video is the money. I am currently paying $265 a month. At this point, I feel is absolutely exorbitant. If you don't already know, WeddingWire makes you sign a 12-month contract, so you can probably do the math. I'm feeling like I'm probably not even going to make back off WeddingWire specifically, or WeddingWire and The Knot, what I have to spend for the 12 months at this point, because out of $265, I seem to have one legitimate lead. Now, I've paid for the second month already because they bill at the start of the month, and I'm hoping I get another one of those, maybe a booking in the next month, but you'll have to come back for next month's video for that one. But really the biggest thing for me is that I reached out to their support, and they were kind of like, and I was like, I'm not getting like really any even responses from people. And they were like, well, you're doing everything that you're supposed to, so, and it's only been a month, so it's getting to be a little aggravating. I'm thinking this month I'm gonna start prodding WeddingWire a little bit, seeing if, you know, if there's any way to get out of this in 6 months instead of 12 months, because honestly, at this point, I'm dumping money down the drain is what it feels like. And I'm sure WeddingWire, if they see this video, are going to be like, well, you have to wait the full 12 months to get the full effect. Guess what? I call bullshit on that, because in the same time that I can go spend this $265 on my Google My Business listing, I'm going to see an almost instant stream of bookings from it. Most people that are going to search for a wedding DJ in Rhode Island on Google, the first things that's going to come up, well, depending on what they're searching on. If they're on a mobile device, it's going to give them like one ad at the top and then the Google My Business listing. And from the time that I started advertising on WeddingWire versus what I've gotten from Google My Business, or just Google searches in general, I've done much more sales. Well, I've done 0 on WeddingWire in the time since I've started advertising. I think I got 3 out of Google, totaling, I don't know. I would have to go look at the booking numbers. It's over $2,000, I think. It's a wedding, a large father-daughter dance, and I feel like there's a third event, but I can't remember what. I would have to go look at booking numbers and everything. Now, it may be different in your territory. I personally live in a small state, the smallest in the US. I'm sure you've seen it trending on TikTok lately. So not only do I have to compete with the Rhode Island DJs on these platforms, I also have to compete with DJs that are a little bit out in Connecticut and out in this area of Massachusetts. This is all probably backwards for you guys, by the way, so technically I should be going like this, but whatever. And there's something like 250 or 300 DJs in this tiny little area that I have to compete with. Obviously, varying levels of experience and stuff, but it's a little bit painful to pay this much money and not be seeing return yet. Like I said, I want to do this video each month while I'm doing this marketing and keep you guys updated. At this point, I'm saying if January 23rd of 2020, if I would have known what I know right now about WeddingWire marketing, I would have said, I'm good, thanks, not worth my money. And that's going to wrap this video up. If you want to see my future videos on this topic, please consider subscribing to the channel. Also, if you enjoyed the video, drop me a thumbs up. It'll really help me out and help other DJs find this video. And last but not least, I'd like you to leave me a comment if you've tried WeddingWire or The Knot marketing, and if you're on it right now. Let me know if you've done it, if you're still doing it, what you think of it, all stuff like that. I want to hear what your experience with it has been.